Red dot optics on a concealed carry gun? Dumb idea. Or is it? I mean, if you want to add extra height, extra weight, and extra width to your carry gun, knock yourself out. But then you've got the issue of, where's my dot? Where's my dot? I can't find my dot. On top of that, reliability, you know, something that has to run on a battery. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons not to put a red dot on a carry gun. Much of that opinion that I've held for a long time came by early technology optics mounted on, at the time, concealed carry handguns, which were much bigger than a lot of the concealed carry handguns are today. And when you think about taking a relatively large optic and putting it on what is now a very small concealed carry handgun, the picture in your mind just doesn't fit, right? It's kind of like a Corvette with a mattress on top, you know, going home from the mattress store. It's just early technology for red dots were fairly unreliable. They were clunky, they were big, they were heavy, and they were wide. And they took adapter plates, if you could even find an adapter plate, and all of those things. But you can also find guys my age who scoffed at the idea of fuel injection in an internal combustion engine, and look where we are now. And as technology matures, then it becomes the standard. And I think red dot optics on concealed carry handguns are going to be a standard. In fact, we're really seeing that happening right now. We're seeing this sort of mini revolution in optics being the primary sighting system on a lot of concealed carry handguns. That's because those optics have gotten so much better in their technology. They've gotten smaller, they've got more precise. They hold their zero much better than they did in the past. They add virtually no weight. In most cases, they're not adding thickness. Perfect case in point, the new XDS9 OSP from Springfield Armory comes with an available Crimson Trace red dot optic mounted right on it. This is not some aftermarket retrofit. This is a designed pair. These two were made to work together. The Crimson Trace optic adds almost no weight whatsoever. The thickness is just barely perceivably wider than the slide itself, still under an inch. And it doesn't add a whole lot of height because Springfield Armory made the cutout not require an adapter plate, so we're right down as low as we can get into that slide. And it still has the most important criteria for me before I would carry a gun with a red dot on it, and that is I still have to be able to use my iron sights if I need them or if I want to. And you co-witness perfectly through this sight, and you can use your iron sights. So do I still think that putting a red dot optic on a concealed carry pistol is dumb? Not really. In fact, I think it's actually pretty smart, if it's done right. This one is definitely done right. The biggest reason for me for changing my opinion from it being a really bad idea to it being a good idea, provided it's done well, is that we've taught ourselves over the years, since handguns with sights on them were invented, to stop focusing on the threat, which is downrange, and start focusing on the front sight, which is just a couple of feet from our eyes. Well, the human eye can only focus in one place at any one time. And so that is counterintuitive, especially when you're scared to death of a threat that's downrange. Certainly you can overcome that with a lot of training, and that's what we've all done all our lives. We have overcome our natural instinct to look at our front sight instead of keeping our eye on the threat. Well, now with a red dot, you don't have to do that anymore. The red dot is not projected, it's captured here on this lens, but it is superimposed over the target. And so you keep your eye focused downrange on the threat, just like you would naturally in any situation where you're taken by surprise, and that red dot is going to be right there. For that reason, because the aiming point is target centric and not front sight centric, I think it is the most intuitive way. And with so many brand new shooters coming into, you know, the culture these days, I think that it is going to benefit them greatly, because they're not going to have to learn to overcome their instincts like we've all done for so many years. So for me, when I think about it in those terms, and then you take away all the negatives that I've had over the years, yeah, I think it's pretty smart to put a red dot on a pistol, especially when it's this red dot, and especially when it's on this pistol. Another big advantage, people who know me or people who follow my channel occasionally will comment with a question, hey, are you cross-eye dominant? Yes, I am. I am right-handed, but I am left-eye dominant. Well, that can sometimes be a challenge, especially, again, for newer shooters, learning how to properly sight in their handgun. Well, it doesn't matter with a red dot. You're looking downrange, you're looking at your target. Your focus is on that red dot. And so it doesn't matter if you're cross-eye dominant or not. It allows you to go with the grip and the shooting style and the stance that is most comfortable, most productive for you, without having to worry about modifying that to fit your cross-eye dominance. So that may not apply to a lot of people, it applies to me, and it's a big plus.